Shout out Big Steve.
Welcome. The NY Contender Series, Week 9. 2 more weeks to go. Home stretch. 2 more weeks of profit is what I'm going to assume. How are you, sir?
Very well. Yep, 2 weeks left. It's going to be weird not taping the 10 unknown fighters every week, but 2 weeks left to make some profit, hopefully.
That's it, yeah. Squeezed out 375 last week with just the random 3-leg parlay and then that 2 Mexican bums round 2 sub. Another just another $50 on that round 2 sub extra. That would have been good. But I ate something. I'm currently 1,600 down on the promotion, which was always going to be hard to make up because I buried myself in the hole with 2K units, and then I have to dig myself out with $500 units. But
yeah.
Hey, I got ahead this week, and yeah, felt like I wasted my time. I was like, I'm getting ahead. I'm getting ahead the next 2 weeks because that's going to be the best way to make profit. There's been a lot of line movement, and this is not the week where I got any better. Oh well, what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? You got to give it a crack.
Yeah.
We'll do the best we can. Probably force something again. All right, should we get into it?
Let's go.
Alrighty, so Sean Gauci versus Anthony Drillich. Great fight. 2 Aussies in their prime. Hex flyweight champion versus the eternal MMA champion. Both 8-1. Actually, Gauci's 9-1. What do you think of this fight, my friend?
Yeah, this is a great fight. As you said, Hex champ versus eternal champ. A lot of Sean Gauci's fights are just highlights. I don't know if you found any full fights, but I mean, even from the highlights, you can tell that he's very well rounded. Obviously fought Steve Erceg, which probably everyone knows, and might be baked into this line. But yeah, he's nice on the feet, nice counter punches, fast takedowns, good cardio. I think they've both gone 5 rounds. Well, Gauci's definitely gone 5 rounds. He was off for 3 years, this Gauci guy, because I think he had some kind of bowel disease. Apparently, I watched a interview. But he's obviously fully recovered now. But yeah, he was off for 3 years, so he hasn't been as active as Drillich. And then you got Drillich, who's a little bit older at 30. Southpaw striker. He seems to have the power advantage, I would say. He's also got nice counters, straight left hand, fast combos, well-timed takedowns. I think they're quite similar, to be honest. Maybe, favor Gauci slightly. But I think they are pretty similar. Both seem to have good cardio. Both have had suspect rounds off their back. Drillich versus this Renouf guy, and then obviously Steve Erceg kind of dogged Gauci in the 3rd round. So yeah, I don't know what to kind of make of this line. I feel like there is value on Drillich. It's kind of hanging around 150 and has been for a while. I get making Gauci like a slight fave, but he's now kind of hovered around minus 180 for a while. And I think Drillich has the power advantage. So, you give, one knockdown to Drillich, and then it's a lot closer than the line suggests. So, yeah, I'm tempted on the Drillich side, to be honest. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, can't add too much. I will add that, Gauci has that one big win on his record, which is probably why he's minus 200. Beating Steve Erceg. They both have one loss, and they're quite identical. Tim Moore against Gauci, he was just getting wrestled and got his back taken for 3 rounds. And same as Drillich. Drillich fought another guy. Let me just get his name. Can't remember now. Manuel Manu. Same thing, 1 year later. Taken down, had his back taken, just a back and forth scrambling fight, and lost a decision there too. So, Drillich is a little bit underwhelming in some of these fights. A couple of split decision wins, which is fair enough. But, a lot of them are bantamweight, and now he's dropped to flyweight, his natural class.
Yeah.
And, same as Gauci. Gauci has a bunch of decisions, but when you give him someone like low level, he's getting KOs, same as Drillich. So I do agree, Drillich is. I don't know about power, but his hands seem nicer. Like he's a really nice southpaw. I like his boxing a lot. He's a black belt as well. Yeah, a lot of similarities, man. A lot of similarities. Obviously, Gauci used wrestling to beat Erceg over 3 rounds, and
Yes.
a lot of high-level Aussies on this season's contender series, and 2 of them have beaten Steve Erceg. It's getting a little bit exposed. Old mate Steve Erceg after Kai Camacho is maybe he can't Anzac, so his weakness, and then he's Bondi as well. Yeah, I mean, I get it. There's got to be value. Like, if Gauchi's going to win, it's. I feel like it's going to be a decision, right? And then back and forth grapple decision, where it's it's just he just seems a little bit better. But I haven't made that decision yet. I mean, he kind of looked bigger at the weigh-ins. He looked more athletic at the weigh-ins. But yeah, I have to do more tape. A lot of these guys, even Drillich's losses or split decision wins. Lawrence Liu, that guy's 5-1 now. Beats some good dudes in the regionals. This Renouf guy, decent. Frank Jankowski, also like 5-1. His only loss is Drillich. So yeah, I don't know. Minus 200 seems a little bit wild. Like, what is that? Like 75%? Like, I guess they're giving Drillich the little split decision path, but yeah, there's got to be some value. But I'm not. I've done quite a bit of tape, but I'm not super confident yet. So we'll have to look into it. It's reminding me of Franklin last week. Popular play. That I just didn't have a read. Like I was like, yeah, it would be competitive, but I don't feel like if I play him, he will win. I bet. Ended up losing 30-27, but yeah, I need the gut feel. I need the gut feel that. Well, I need to see what the bookies are seeing. I'm currently not seeing it, but yeah, I mean, that's probably the closest I'm on a money line right now. So I haven't looked at the overs, but let's have a look now quickly. It's going to be juiced. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah,
1.5. I mean, I guess they're set there because they both have like early round 1 and round 2 KOs again against bums.
I mean, surely you play the over 1.5 if you want to play Gauci.
Well, exactly. Yeah, I mean, no brainer. But then, yeah, but I mean, how many times? I don't know if you've been burnt on it, but I've talked about it a few times in his first fights. Haddon, people had the over.
Oh yeah.
Arena Circuit. Yeah. There was another one as well where the over seemed obvious in a competitive fight. The Lerone versus Ho. People like play the over 2.5 competitive fight. It's round 1 KO.
Yeah.
Both these guys have power, so I have to make that assessment. Go deep on the tape. I don't think I've seen either guy hurt personally, so there's that. Alrighty, let's move on. Islem, Dulatov versus Vanilto, Antunes. So, as I mentioned in the early teas, I know Antunes well. I was really close to playing him in LFA, as a decent-sized dog against Neto. He gets grappled a lot, and that's probably why Neto was such a big favorite. He's a black belt that grapples. But yeah, he got sparked. He got sparked quick. Antunes hits like a truck. Dulatov hits like a truck too. I don't know if we broke him down or did he pull out before we had a chance to break him down earlier in the season?
No.
No, he was meant to be on episode 1, I think. We didn't. And he just basically runs through everyone. A lot of low-level competition on the European regional scene, but he's huge. He's 6'6", man, at welterweight.
He's not actually 6'6", but he is like 6'3", 6'4". He's still massive at the weight.
Yeah, true. I mean, it looks like it when he was standing next to this guy. But yeah, I mean, what is there to say? Super, super volatile fight. 2 bangers. I don't think I have to check Antunes' chin again just to see how it's going to hold up, because this is going to be a banger. I'm not sure if Dulatov will grapple. He's been aggressive in every single fight. Obviously, the under's going to be juiced. Oh, wow. Under 2.5 rounds at $1.33. That's a weird... I didn't expect that set to be set at 2.5 rounds. What do you think of this?
Yeah, this is a great fight. I think it's just basically no idea what's going to happen. As you said, very volatile. Dulatov, huge favourite. He's now minus 700 on Bet Online. Yeah, as we said, huge for the division. Rangy striker, teeps to the body, all that. He does this weird, like, he gets a bit trigger happy in the pocket. Like, he just, like, will just blitz with, like, loads of wild short hooks. Whereas he is really long, so he should keep, the distance and everything. But apart from that, he's obviously, very dangerous. Loves a front choke. He's got, he'll snatch your neck out of anywhere. On the Antunes side, obviously very experienced. He's got a load more fights. He's also got 6 losses, all of which have been by finish. So that might be aiding the line, this minus 700 line. But yeah, he's a wild man, and it's hard to bet against these wild Brazilians at a huge juice line. His biggest weakness is obviously the takedown defense. But then I don't think that's really something that Dulatov is going to want to exploit. He doesn't do it in his past fights, and I doubt he's going to do it when he's trying to get signed to the UFC. So probably going to be a striking fight, and then that even that adds to the volatility. I think he does have power, this Antunes guy, and he has gone longer in fights, a lot more than Dulatov has. I think Dulatov has gone out of round 1 twice. He's gone. I think he finished the early second round, and then he lost obviously his pro debut by decision. But he was a lot smaller back then. You can see his physique is like he's really skinny back then. He just kind of got wrestled. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't parlay Dulatov. I mean, you can't, at minus 700. There's no point. So yeah, it's probably dog or pass for me, just due to the volatility and the fact that Dulatov hasn't really been, out of round 1 very much, and he's been fighting a low level of competition. So plus 500, worth a stab, maybe.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's definitely dog or pass, not maybe. It's just ain't no way. I mean, just play the under 2.5 rounds. It's better than Dulatov's money line.
Under 2.5.
It's $1.33.
Minus 300, yeah.
It's just crazy that this is like the most obvious fight to set at 1.5 rounds. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
But I have to look at Antunes. Like, it hasn't been knocked out many times, right? As I said, his grappling is the weakness. So
yes,
actually, he did eat a big knee from this Sergey Romanov.
Yeah, I mean that was
brutal. Yeah, I remember that.
Brutal, yeah. And
the guy is 24-6 and just a bunch of round 1 KOs. Yeah, this guy, I remember for LFA, I was like, yeah, this guy cracks. It's the Russian that killed him. All right, let's move on. I guess maybe some round 1. If you go Antunes round 1 as a big dog, man, that number would be huge. But yeah, we'll see. I haven't really addressed any of the comments. Let's go through it. What's up, Subhuman? I have to look at some of your Premier League bets. I've been slacking, but I would have lost money if I bet, so it's good. Jake, crazy how contender lines don't move when Big Bear doesn't tip. Well, he tipped Xavier last week, and he's not the only one, my friend. It seems like a lot of the public has been correct this year. The chick that you were on, the Brazilian chick, the African, moved like 60 cents accurate. So I think the public just doesn't see anything good to bet, and same as last week. Shalom, my friend. Mazel tov. Dulatov, yeah, whatever that means. It's German. I can't read that. Can't wait. Dulatov gives strong fade vibes. Yeah, I've been hearing that. Yeah, just like a random Street Fighter type. Antunes size difference not as big. Weak resume in Dulatov, correct. Yeah, this Antunes has beaten some good Brazilians on the regional scene. Looks susceptible to leg kicks. This is actually a dog-heavy card. I'm feeling every single dog.
And last week, not a single dog won.
Well, I didn't say that about that. Last week I said I hate the card for betting all around. Alrighty.
But then you aced it.
What was that? Oh yeah, well, it's annoying because I every single one of those parlays was like a good single bet.
A single bet, yeah.
especially Jacob Smith KO. It was pick 'em, man. It's wild. All right, Mario Pinto, Lucas Camacho. Speaking of dogs, I'm really considering Camacho. I know he's a bum, or he looks like a bum on the feet, and his LFA fights are just cinema. There's only 2 fights available. He just kind of like looks really unathletic, and he's knocking these dudes out, and it's a war back and forth, and he must hit like a truck because these dudes just react really weird. But his background is a black belt. He's a black belt, and he's been a black belt for years now. So it's from Noah Unau, grappling gym, well-known gym in Brazil. So we haven't seen that on tape, but he potentially has that, as another reason to play the dog, right? He's got grappling upside. Mario Pinto is a bit more technical. I hate his style, typical calf kick and jab and stay on the outside at heavyweight. I'm sure Dana White's going to love this fight if it plays out the way Mario Pinto wants it to play out. So he just takes these, he took freaking Benjamin Sehic, extended him. Like that guy was ready to be out of there in the first 5 minutes, and Mario was just running away and whatnot. I see my boy. I taped that fight, and I see my boy Couch say he got hurt by Sehic. I don't remember that. Maybe
Yeah, he did.
Which round? First.
I can't remember. Yeah, it might have been like late in the first. He like or in this. I can't remember. It was first or second. He got like
Correct.
back to the fence with punches, and then he got hit with a big knee. But he popped right back up. But he did get hurt. He did get dropped.
All right. Well, there you go. Just makes even more sense. I mean, Camacho has power. I mean, he's a $5 underdog plus 400. Like, come on, what are we doing? Subhuman makes a good point. Did you see that face off?
No, I didn't see. I saw you guys talking about it in the.
Oh, it's hilarious, dude.
Chat.
The guys are like, all right, we got to move, guys, and they just wouldn't stop staring. But yeah, I mean, $5. What are we doing? What are we doing here? I will say Pinto. He did beat this. The guy that was on PFL, the African, in the first fight of the night. Yeah, this apparently has a Sambo background. I think his name is this Jantu Nana guy, and he rear naked choked him, and the commentators are like, oh wow, he rear naked choked an African Sambo champion. I was like, well, he looked awful on the ground. So how bad are African Sambo champions?
He's 6-1 now.
Yeah, other than that, no submissions. But he did get ground and pounded in under 2 minutes back in 220 by Luke Hayward, which I'll watch if it's even available. Hayward is a 3-0. It looks like he's ground and pounded everyone. Yeah, there's reasons to play the $5 underdog, but I'll just have to see if it's a donation or not. What do you think?
Yeah, this is a terrible fight. As we were saying before we went live, this card is pretty good for prospects. This is not one of those fights. 2 big heavyweights, but not really, athletic. Obviously, as you said, Pinto, the more polished, I guess you could say, striker. Very patient. He should have got Sehic out of there long before round 3. Yeah, way too patient sometimes. His takedown defense looks pretty good. He does pop up if he gets taken down, but I think this is probably going to be a striking fight. Although you did say Camacho is a black belt, but I didn't see him use it at all in his LFA fights.
No, loves to bang.
He loves to bang, yeah. Camacho on the other side, obviously, similar thing, a little bit older, but just as unathletic as Pinto. I just watched his 2 LFA fights. His last fight wasn't really, I mean, it was a TKO, but he won by injury. I think that was probably going to this sloppy decision if the guy didn't get injured. And then he just finished the first LFA fight because the guy absolutely death gassed. So yeah, this is just a complete pass fight for me. I'm not really interested in the dog, so he is all yours. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't put money on this guy and then him lose. I would hate myself more than I would be if I passed and he won. So
that's why you're going to be broke forever, my friend. That's why you're going to be broke.
Yeah,
instead of playing the gut Camacho, you're going to donate on Little Mini Marvin Gillard, a loser's 30-27. Can't take a leg.
That's in the past. That's in the past.
Yeah. As soon as it gets past 3 days, then we forget about it.
Yeah.
Unless it makes it on the tilt zone, which I actually don't have much material for the tilt zone, so that's good. That's good.
That's good. Yeah, that is good.
Mark Goddard would have been the main focus of the episode if I lost that Lucindo decision.
Oh yeah, when he stood him up.
Oh, dude, I've never been so tilted from 2 winning bets, Tisha Torres and Lucindo. That's all I had, and they both won, and I was just tilted for ages. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah,
Why these ladies?
I was very lucky on Saturday because I had Torres, who was obviously very close fight, didn't know who was going to get it. And then I had Bautista, split decision, and I had Hernandez, a split decision. So I won 3 close decisions. So yeah.
To be honest, none of them should have been split at all. I think Hernandez was up 2-0. I thought Bautista won 2-1. Clearly, it was 1-1 into the third, and Torres.
But you just know those fights are always going to go to splits.
Yeah. It's only scary because of what the judges have put us through over the years. And yeah, the dipshits in the Discord. Oh, I have a 2-1 Carla. I was like, come on, mate. Just don't say that. Don't jinx me like that. Yeah, I remember when I taped this fight, I was like, I like the over because just the way Pinto is patient and he just cannot get these bums out of there for 3 rounds. And as you said, like Camacho's, his finish, one of those finishes was like an armbar injury, and even though he's brawling, he's so sloppy. He looks like that's, but I look at it now, it's $1.57. No thanks.
Yeah.
On a heavyweight fight.
So? I know, but they're so like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not touching it. It's chalk.
Powerful heavyweights, but.
Yeah. Well, Camacho, it looks like he has a touch of death, mate. Looks like he has a touch of death.
Does he?
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Great fight. Probably the best fight of the card. Right. Per usual, it's not on the main event because Dana White doesn't make the best fights on the main event. It's always some weird shit show where it looks like you can't get a read or it's going to delve into some weird result. But yeah, Kody Steele, Chasen Blair. I left it in the room. Kody Steele really broke him down. A lot of people were playing a Tony against him. I personally didn't like it just because that one loss on Tony's record, getting absolutely mauled on the ground. And I think I dodged the bullet because the man that pulls out with anxiety, I think he might have done a little Tom Breeze in there and cost everyone their money. So I think everyone dodged the bullet there by him pulling out. But Kody Steele, I get why he's the big favorite. I know Blair well. Probably bet at least five of his fights on the regional scenes. And I'm lucky that I didn't lose that one where he got knee-barred by Hassan Zada to GOAT because I just played the under at like plus money and then pick him again. But yeah, good fighter. That was at welterweight. His other loss to Craig was at welterweight, which was a big robbery. I think he had more of a shout to win that 37 than getting robbed 29-28. He hurt him in round 1, took him down. Hurt him in round 2. Hurt him in round 3, and then he had to guillotine him out. And then I don't understand. I guess because once he got up in rounds 2 and 3, Craig had some success.
He's getting pieced up. Yeah, he's getting pieced up.
But he never hurt him back. He never did anything to take away from the fact that he was dropped way worse at the start of the round. I think it's a classic case of judges just forgetting what happened, like really bad judging. Should have been cleared 30-27, but yeah, now he's at lightweight, 3 fights in a row. That seems to be his weight class. So yeah, Kody Steele, he's cutting weight again, but what was that, like 4 weeks ago now? He should be right. He should have replenished.
Yeah.
Plenty of time. I get why he's the favorite. There's more footage of him winning decisions. Blair just running through a lot of these bums. I don't think he's going to be able to fall off mount and go for a triangle and get it on Kody Steele. Kody Steele's background is a grappler. Trains with the Tackett brothers. He grapples a lot. As you said on the first time we broke him down, he went to a decision with Gregory Rodriguez, Robocop. Yeah, really good. He's only been I saw his grappling from the last loss was a heel hook to Rotulo, one of the Rotulo bros, which is no shame for an MMA fighter at all to get subbed by him.
Went 10 minutes with him as well.
Yeah, so it's is Blair going to knock him out? He's not going to sub him. So it could be a back and forth competitive fight where, again, it's dog or pass for me. But I'm not, even though I don't like Kody Steele, I don't know. I think they kind of match up well where Kody might might be the slightly better, more proven martial artist. But he had that fight with what's his name, Kilmer, and Kilmer was just aggressively grappling him and taking his back and mounting him, and he was confident, he was comfortable, and he kept winning with ground and pound, reversing and getting up and doing more damage. 29-28. Kilmer, fought 4-2, or actually 6-3 or whatever it is. He's lost a lot of fights. He's not the greatest. Maybe Blair is better. Maybe Blair is better. I feel like this is going to go over. Let me look at the totals. I'm trying to look at the totals before I let you go. Kody has been dropped before. There's that. And, Blair cracks. So maybe that's... I know Pierce said KO looks good. But, yeah, the over 1.5 is another minus 200. Yeah, I just feel that these are all, accurately lined. What do you think?
Yeah, not a ton to add. Obviously, if anyone has taped Cage Warriors over the last 2 years, they'll know Chasen Blair. He seems to be improving. I think another good point to make is that he's now dropped down to lightweight for the past 2 fights, which I think is a good weight class for him. He looked good at the weigh-ins. And I think he is improving. Yeah, he's only 25. Kody's still a bit older at 29, but what is the line saying at the moment? I haven't looked at it, actually.
Where's the minus 200?
Ooh, yeah. That's
your kind of play. Your kind of play.
minus 240 now. Well, yeah. Yeah,
Subliminal max bet.
Minus 240, and it could never be me. But yeah, Chasen Blair, I think he is, he does have some similarities with Steele. I haven't taped Steele since the last time he was booked. And I think I bet Steele by decision against the Brazilian that pulled out, which probably would have not cashed because obviously this guy had anxiety and was probably going to quit, a la Tom Breeze, like you say. But yeah, I think it's definitely dog or pass. I couldn't play this money line, although what is Blair decision? Oh, sorry, Steele decision.
Well, no, that was a mistake, but I also don't mind Blair decision. That was going to be a good number.
Blair decision plus 450. Yeah, because it is going over, I reckon.
Well, yeah, he's not going to unless he knocks out Steele. I forgot to mention, Steele has been dropped before, so but his chin is shown to be decent. Look how big his head is. See how much bigger his head is at the weigh-in? That's wild. Big head is a good cap of a good chin, I reckon.
Yeah, he's definitely, even though he's been dropped, he's definitely got a solid chin, as does Blair. But then obviously Blair's been fighting guys in Cage Warriors who can't really test it. He did slow down in the 3rd round versus
Craig.
Craig.
Yeah, but years ago at welterweight, though, that's the thing. A very, very high pace fight with 3 knockdowns. He probably thought he was going to finish him a bunch of times.
Do you think there'd be much grappling in this fight?
Well, that's the thing, man. We don't know. Who knows? Who knows? And who knows how his cardio is going to be at lightweight? He should be better than welterweight because he's more in shape. But then, he hasn't been extended since that Craig fight. So it's usually these guys that are running through everyone, when they do get extended, they kind of need that cage time to build their fitness, and he doesn't have that. So there's something here. There's something here. Maybe live bet.
We know Steele can go.
Yeah, we've seen
minutes easily. So yeah, tricky fight to call, but the money line is definitely wide, but there might be a prop hiding somewhere that's worth a play. Fight goes the distance at Pick'em.
Yeah, that could be the one.
Possibly.
He's knocked out this Nico as well. Nico Echeverry, who's pretty durable, man. Yeah, this still hits quite hard, actually. Yeah, who knows, man? Who knows? Do some digging. Do some digging, although it's not really pleasurable taping Kody Steele, I'll be honest.
No.
Tristan, heavyweight contender fight are bangers. Yeah, I'm going to have to be honest and say the Camacho fight's probably the best fight of the season. Pinto getting dropped by Sage, yeah. Might be the worst to ever do it. What about when he beat that, the next coming of Ngannou? I made a Twitter post about him. I almost donated. He just ran through him 2 seconds. Goddard is a proper moron. Unreal bias. Correct. Surprised Kody is such a big favorite. So am I. Sup, gentlemen. Sup, Glimbot. You're a bit late, mate, but you're just about to make it for the quickest breakdown of the card, so that's good. Alrighty. We have Artem Vakhitov versus old mate Islem Masraf. Right. As I mentioned, typical main event, contender series fight. 2 light heavyweights, striking fight, minimum experience, MMA experience. Artem, you don't watch these MMA fights. They're useless. They're absolutely useless. Actually loses his first MMA fight with injury. And then, some bum pulls him into mount, he knocks him out, and then the other bum eats one low kick and he just quits. And Artem looks more annoyed that he couldn't fight more than 10 seconds than the fact that he won. And Islem, I don't mind this Islem guy. I mentioned on the early teas, my boy Pepe, bet his last fight against that black dude in PFL, where the guy just came out and just hands low, ate a head kick in less than 10 seconds, and Pepe's going on Twitter calling PFL horrible promotion. Just imagine having the over or the other guy just comes out and just eats a head kick and he's done. You'd be getting death threats from me for sure. But yeah, he's actually, I don't mind him, early tease, I said I didn't watch his first fight, and then I went and watched it, and the guy was trying to grapple him, showed good takedown defense, and then went into round 2, still seemed to have good cardio, locked in the guillotine. But again, I don't think that's relevant here. Artem is not going to grapple him. They're going to strike. If people don't know Artem, I don't know, I didn't even mention it. I'm just assuming everyone here is not a casual. Yeah, probably one of the best kickboxers right now in the world, right? Beat Pereira. He was a 2-division champ, and then they stripped him because of the whole Russian war thing. So yeah, he's like, F this, I'm going to MMA. All right, so don't have to watch his MMA fights. Just watch all his kickboxing. You'll see he's an absolute animal. Extremely durable. Before I realized who it was, I was contemplating Islam. I'm like, wow, kickboxing fight on the feet, light heavyweight. I'll take the big dog. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It's Artem. It's, it's kind of like fading Pereira with another striker, fading him with Khalil, for example. He will do well, but then it's the levels are going to show at some point. I don't know, man. It's still a dog or pass. It seems like Mike's Discord, Catch Warrior, it seems like he's listening to the show, and then every single dog we mentioned, he's ended up playing him 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. So see if he plays. He actually played Islam as well. So yeah, I guess he has that grappling upside. He might grapple. Maybe Artem gets injured. He's already lost the MMA fight. So the under 1.5 is horrible. But I wouldn't mind the over. Right. Artem, he did knock out Pereira both times they fought. He's, as I said, extremely durable. We're just banking on Islam surviving, right? Not getting finished in under 1.5 rounds. It's probably the juiciest under 1.5 we've had all season. What do you think?
Yeah, not much to add on this one, because I was going to look into this one an hour before the podcast and then realized that we were going an hour early. So still need to look into this one, but I did watch, right before the podcast, I did watch Artem's MMA fights, which, as you said, pointless, waste of time. So I'll go and watch his kickboxing fights, see if he's...
Watch my YouTube video on Twitter. It's so good. Okay. It's like his whole career in 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
His background and all the highlights, the Pereira highlights. It's great.
All right. I shall watch that. But yeah, I don't know much about this Masraf guy. I saw he fought in, what was it, Aries? Aries, PFL, obviously, but can't tell much from 10-second head kick. But yeah, I did see I think you were talking about it right at the end, but I did see the over 1.5 is plus 250, which seems, I mean, I haven't really taped this fight, but that seems wide. Unless he's going to run through Islam like he has his other bum fights, that's got to be value, plus 250.
Oh, it's value for sure.
But I can't confirm because I haven't actually looked into it. But yeah, that just seems to be, for the under 1.5 to be minus 325. I mean, you'd want one punch knockout power. Is that what Artem has, or is he like?
No, not really. That's the thing.
No.
I mean, it looks like it against the cab drivers that he's been fighting. But like literally, his leg kicks are not even the best thing that he has, and he just kicks this fat guy, and the fat guy just he's like that Ukrainian a couple of weeks ago, just all ice cream cone vendors and taxi drivers and janitors, literally obese janitors, and it's pointless. It's pointless. It's just all squash matches. Like you don't have to give this guy squash matches. Like, I think he's good enough to beat someone with a pulse. Like, the best kickboxer in the world right now. Like he's good enough to beat someone with a pulse.
Yeah, like this is kind of wide enough for me to just kind of blind bet plus 250, but
yeah, I will
look into it, but
or start round 2 because that Sterling Navajo fight was just like lost by 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That was quite tilting. So maybe just start round 1, start round 2. It's going to be big plus money, not big, but plus money still.
I think probably plus 150 if the line doesn't move. But
the only thing is, we might have missed the boat. You know, lost so much money on unders early in the season. Now the unders are kind of cashing a bit more frequently.
Yeah.
But no way. This is just you can't even parlay this under. I'm not even interested in parlaying it.
No.
It's nothing like that Teixeira touch of a couple of weeks ago, the heavyweight.
The big one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was better price, and I put that in a parlay, and that had value. But this, well, I mean, there's no point taping, but yeah, I think this goes over.
Yeah, I'm just going to look into this. I'll watch that video that you posted, and then I'll just look into this Islem guy to see what he's about. But yeah, plus 250 just jumps out at me right away.
Hopefully Artem, the dipshit, doesn't get injured again like he did in his first fight.
That was weird. He just kind of fell on his shoulder. Was it his elbow or shoulder? Yeah. No.
Yeah, one of those. So he has a lot in his kickboxing. He has a ton of decisions, like shitloads of decisions.
But then it's hard to measure, like.
Yeah, obviously. But he's beating the shit out of these dudes. Like he's full ripping the liver, the body. Obviously, they're a heavyweight. Some of them. I mean, he couldn't. Pereira doesn't have an amazing chin, right? We've seen Izzy put him on skates many, many, many times, and Pereira didn't knock. Obviously, that was a light heavyweight. Chin's a little bit better. Pereira couldn't even get close to hurting him. He didn't really hurt Pereira. It was just a competitive decision both times. But yeah, a lot of decisions. I would say but the thing is, the KOs that he does have, they're under 1.5 rounds, all three of them. 1 minute, 2 minutes into second, 2 minutes into second, but they're 3-minute rounds. So it kind of just blitzes through you, or it's gonna extend.
Go long. Yeah.
I don't know. All depends on this French dude, right?
Yeah.
Dogfather, hell yeah. He bet that over too. I love it. When the guy was head kicked in 10 seconds. Hello, Mr. Sander. Sorry I couldn't have it just subliminal. My bad. Overs have been good to me in Apex. Tristan, is Aries produce good prospects? Sometimes, actually. They've got a lot of good French guys. Baki and a few others. A lot of Russian maulers, daggy maulers. Pereira has a decent chin when he's not cutting weight. He does, yeah. It's not bad. Yeah, well, what do we have? You got nothing, right?
No bets at the moment, but
I think this might be the first time all year that you had not had one bet on the show.
I'll have something, but I don't have anything at the moment.
Things will be forced. Make no mistake about it. I told my friend who has way better discipline last week. I'm like, I'm going in with no contender series bets, and he's like, I'm proud of you. And I was like, no, I'm definitely forcing a 3-leg parlay. Give me a sec. Ended up being a great parlay, and
yeah.
I can't sit through 5 Dana White contender series fights just with no bets, hoping that a live bet is going to show. There actually was live bets were good last week. I should have bet a guy that fought Franklin at -200 halfway through round 1. Like it was clear that he wasn't addressing the leg kicks. -200, I was like, oh nah, I pussied out. And then who's the other one? Really good live bet again, chalk. Oh, Montez. Montez round 2 again. I guess because he got beaten up in round 1. The line wasn't crazy. But it was clear the other guy was gassing. So not long after that, he just submitted him. So some good live bets, but they were chalky, so I kind of pussied out. Whereas Franza, for example, Franza the week before, man, plus money, beautiful.
What bet?
Right after round 1, same as money line. Yeah, well, I mean, probably Gauci Drillich might have a live bet. I feel like a competitive close fight. Kody Steele, Blair, definitely a live bet. Camacho Pinto, man. It's just, whatever Camacho is at, I don't think it's going to be better than his money line. Like, unless he hits a couple calf kicks and does nothing. But we'll find something. Over in the main, Blair will pass. Camacho will pass. Antunes will pass. Drilich will pass. Yeah, Dog City. We'll see. All right, boss. Thank you very much.
Could be disastrous playing these big dogs, but okay.
Yeah, I might just tell Mike and see how we go.
What's he on?
He's on Antunes, Camacho, and Masraf in the main event. So 3 dogs.
All the big dogs, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree. It's hard to disagree with anyone. We'll see what Bet365 opens actually the under 1.5 tomorrow on Dulatov. We'll see.
Under 1.5. What were you expecting?
Well, I'm not really good at judging, especially with like how juiced the under 2.5 is. Maybe minus 200. 17 cents better than the 2.5, maybe. It's probably going to be better than that, but I'm just being
generous.
I don't know. I guess, yeah, it probably will be better than that.
Well, you think it ends in round 1?
No, but I mean, it should have been set at 1.5. Like 2.5 makes no sense. FIFA Gaming. Steve, you already taped Tyra? No, I have not. I'm still rocking my 4-point-something units. I know I tipped 3 units to the Discord. I just didn't imagine myself going any bigger than that, but then I just kept adding because the line was moving. Glimbot, yeah, and Steelbot over 1.5. I just can't do the minus 200, but it's probably going to look value. All right. Thanks, my friend. Like and subscribe. Peace out.
Peace.